Now listen up, Canes fans. I've got something important to say that I've got to get off my chest because I'm seeing this everywhere and I'm already tired of it. And you know what? We're going to get up close and personal for this one. Especially with the Canes fans, I need to have a little chit chat with you guys. I'm already sick and tired of seeing it everywhere on social media. Coop, we played Duke, a basketball school. Coop, they weren't even that good. They were 2-7. I get it. We did play Duke, a bad football team. But you know what? We won, and we won like we were supposed to. Do you guys understand that we hadn't shut out a team on the road since 2000? Do you know that we hadn't shut out a conference opponent since 2001? Let that sink in how big of a deal this game was. I know that they weren't a good football team, but we beat the brakes off of Duke. And you best believe that I enjoyed every single second of it. And you're darn right that I'm going to celebrate. As a matter of fact, I might even wear my chain to bed.
Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
Whew, now that that's off of my chest, what's going on, Canes fans? Man, it felt so good to be back, and what a game to come back to right after shutting out Duke and winning 48-0. Thank you so much, everyone who showed up during the live hangout for the game, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the new little heart rate feature that I implemented into the stream. So for those of you that missed it, what I'm actually doing is for the rest of the games and going into next season in the 2021 season and whatnot, I'm actually going to display my real heart rate on the screen. I wear a strap around my chest, and that way you guys can watch the ups and the downs, because it gets kind of crazy when really good things happen and really bad things happen. And you know what? Instead of trying to explain it for those of you that missed it, let me show you a quick clip from the stream. This actually was a clip from when Jalen Knighton fumbled on his first carry of the game in our first possession on offense. Goose Fraba. Fumble on the second play of the game. Y'all are going to have to keep my heart rate down. Oh boy, oh boy. So I thought that was a cool little feature to add to the streams. You guys know that I preach we're always trying to get better and better each and every day here on the Coach Coop YouTube channel. And I think the only announcement that I have, I guess, is that to my surprise, the Don't Be a Fan Later shirts, if you're not familiar with them, are still up for sale on the merch store. Apparently what happens is, as long as there is an order processing for the shirt, I can't pull the listing down. So they're still up for sale. I technically pulled them down. The last day to purchase one, because their limited edition was on December 1st. But until all of those orders have processed, not shipped and you receive it, but processed, it's still up. So 5 people purchased them during the game. Congratulations. Welcome to the exclusive club. It is still up if you want to get one.
Link is still in my pinned comment, by the way.
So let's get into the initial reaction for this game. As I tell you guys time and time again, sometimes it feels good to be wrong. And luckily, we still predicted the dub, so we're undefeated when it comes to wins and losses. But I was way off on the score prediction. And if you missed my preview video, yes, that is my drawing for the Duke logo. It's a long story. My printer broke, and listen, we're not going to get into it, all right? But I was way off on the score prediction. Honestly, I am surprised, and overall, I'm very impressed with this game. I understand that Duke was 2-7, but you also have to understand that we hadn't played football in almost 3 weeks, and during that time, there was very limited practice, limited strength and conditioning sessions, and we were out 15 players in this game. Not all of them were starters, but some of them were. it was just really nice because Duke had beaten us in the last 2 matchups and we finally gave them the beatdown that they deserved. So I just want to talk about some of my positive takes from the game, and believe it or not, I actually only have one negative slash complaint really for this game that I want to bring up. Typically it's a much longer list than that, but let's take a look at the positives first. And the first thing I really want to talk about is the fact that Cameron Harris finally had another good game. He had been struggling for weeks. He started off the season strong, and then from there, he wasn't that impressive. And in this matchup, it looked like Knighton had got the nod to be RB1. At least he started as RB1 in that first series for us on offense. But then, of course, as we already talked about, he fumbled on his very first carry, and at one point he bumped into De'Aaron King, and it was just an absolute mess. But then Cameron Harris comes in, gets 15 carries for 96 yards, and looked pretty impressive. And I think that he wanted to prove the doubters wrong. And Don Chaney Jr. also continues to impress me with his elusiveness and his ability to pick up yards after contact. We are locked and loaded at the running back position for years to come. Also, did you guys notice that De'Aaron King looked very comfortable in this game? I have to say that it felt like he was in complete control of this offense for all 4 quarters. And where do I even start with Jalen Phillips? That man is an absolute beast, a monster. He practically lives in the backfield. And it was definitely good to see Brevin Jordan back. We targeted him several times, and he did have a touchdown pass. We'll talk about that when we look at the stats. And it just felt good that there were several drives where it seemed like we might have to potentially settle for a field goal, but then we found a way to move the ball and pick up the first down, and in several occasions get the touchdown. So obviously there are many more positives that I could talk about, but I try to keep these videos short, sweet, simple, and to the point. The biggest thing that I want to say is it was just nice to see us beat a bad team the way that we should be beating all bad teams week in and week out, year after year, season after season. So really my only little complaint from this game, and keep in mind that there are lots of little things that we could nitpick. There are other negatives and things that didn't go right for us. But for me, the one thing that stands out is I feel like there was several times that Rhett Lashley kind of killed our own momentum with his conservative play calling. I don't really know any other way to put it. Like, we would get a big time pass, right? We're moving the ball, we're ready to kind of go tempo, and then we would run it up the gut for 1 yard. And then it kind of just slowed everything down. And maybe I'm the minority with this one. Maybe I'm the only one who feels this way. But let me know down in the comment section that at times it just feels like that when we should maybe put our foot on the gas and push a little more, that he would kind of let up here and there. So that's kind of really my only little small complaint. But to wrap up the video, let's jump over to ESPN.com and take a look at the stats for this game. I'm going to focus on the stats for the Miami Hurricanes because, well, there's not a whole lot there for Duke, right? And you guys came here for the juicy Miami Hurricanes stats. So first downs for the game, 24. Third down efficiency, 4 of 10. I guess all things considered, that's not too bad because several of the drives were long, lengthy touchdowns. So it is what it is. We did go for it once on 4th down and we did convert. That's definitely a positive. 524 total yards of offense in this game. And I'm actually going to backtrack a little. I want to mention the total yards for Duke because this shows how well our defense played, which I know I didn't throw it in the positives. Like I said, it could just go and go and go. The list goes on and on. But our defense played lights out. Obviously, a big fat goose egg for the Duke Blue Devils. But our tackling was spectacular tonight against Duke. The defense absolutely balled out. Just Miami Hurricanes swarming everywhere. Everybody was aggressive, playing with passion and fire. And it was just an amazing game for the defense. So the 524 total yards of offense for Miami compared to the 177 for Duke. Man, what a tough night to be a Duke fan. Of the 524, 304 was passing for us, 220 rushing, and only 3 penalties for 45 yards. There weren't a whole lot of penalties in this game, period, but I'll take 3 penalties for 45 yards. That ain't too bad. And, of course, the 1 turnover coming on the second play of the flipping game with Jalen Knighton. Man, I hope he's okay, though, because I'm a huge fan of Rooster. It is what it is. He'll get better, and he'll improve after this game and hopefully come back ready to go. So we'll take a look at the box score. If I skip over anybody, guys, I'm not trying to leave them out. I'm just jumping around, touching on a few of the big ones. Of course, we're going to talk about our man, our QB, numero uno, De'Aaron King, 16 of 24 for 248 yards, 3 touchdown passes. N'Kosi Perry did see some snaps, and so did Peyton Matoka. I think that would have been TBD if he would have been there, but unfortunately, he was unavailable for the game. Cameron Harris, as we mentioned, 15 carries for 96 yards. Chaney, 9 carries for 62 yards, and that's 6.9 average. Again, 9 carries for 62 yards may not sound like a whole lot, but those were some huge, big-time runs from Chaney. And again, that really looks impressive for us in the future. De'Aaron King coming in at number 3 with rushing yards, 11 carries, 46 yards. You know he's going to pick up some rushing yards in the game. Let's see. Let's look at receiving. Harley, man, my man, that 89-yard touchdown reception turned on the Jets. The amount of separation, it just was mind-blowing. Harley has stepped up, and he is the main guy in this receiver corps, period. That man is an absolute leader, and he's setting an example for all of the other wide receivers. So 2 receptions total for him for 105 yards. Chaney with 4 receptions for 81. Jordan, as we said, targeted multiple times, 4 receptions for 75 yards and had that touchdown catch. D. Wiggins with some catches as well, 3 for 14. Restrepo, I'm pretty sure, caught his first pass as a Miami Hurricane tonight. 1 reception for 12 yards. Mallory, we did target once. I'd like to see Mallory still targeted more, even with Brevin Jordan involved, because that duo right there, man, could be absolutely unstoppable. Now, unfortunately, I'm a little bit too early to see defensive stats. I know that kind of sucks that I don't get to put that in the video, but we did have several sacks. We had a lot of tackles for loss. The defense just absolutely balled out. I would love to see total tackles for this game. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not available here. It's not up yet. So just know that the defense absolutely balled out. If somebody gets the complete stats and wants to drop them down below, that'd be awesome when they go up. We know that Borregales did miss a field goal, but the dude hit one from 52. I have 0 complaints. We got nothing to complain about after the kicking woes that we've had to deal with in the past. The only other thing I'd like to say is, when can we get that punt returner or that kick returner that the opposing team kicks away from? I say this time and time again in my preview videos and during the live streams, that when are we going to get that guy? Because it seems like it's been forever since we've had that. But guys, impressive win, 48-0. I don't care what anybody says. Celebrate it. Enjoy it. You best believe that if Duke had beat us, everybody would be making fun of us. But then everybody wants to say that when we beat them, that we don't have a right to celebrate and enjoy the victory. This shows that we did what we needed to do and what we were supposed to do. So heck yeah, I'm going to celebrate that. But man, starting tomorrow, guys, we've got to prepare for North Carolina, because we know how dangerous that offense can be. I don't care that they lost to FSU, and FSU is the laughing stock in all of college football. North Carolina is still a scary team to play, and they can put up a ton of points. So hopefully the game actually happens. We've got to be playing every game like it's our last, and as fans, we've got to enjoy it like it's our last, because you don't know when the last game is going to creep up this season with all of the COVID stuff. So it's just been crazy. And unfortunately for us, we already know, guys, we're not competing in the ACC championship. That's a whole nother argument for a whole nother video. I'm not even going to go there right now, but I do know that all of the other teams that are in the top 10 did get a victory tonight that played. So there's not going to really be a whole lot of movement in the top 10. So remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.